Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my everyday makeup drawer for the month of March. If you guys are new to these videos on my channel, it's basically just where I go through and I show you all of the products that I'll be using throughout the month. I like to switch it up every single month so I can try new products, rediscover old favorites. You might see a bunch of repeats throughout the months because I am trying to use up a bunch of products in 2018 and I've decluttered a lot of my collection, so I don't have a ton of new products to try, but I do try to switch up a few things every single month. I think a lot of you guys like these videos because you really get a look at which products I'm using up and how I'm making progress. So let's jump into it. Before I get into the products for March, I'm going to go through and show you the products that I'm taking out of my drawer for different reasons. If you want to skip the recap though, check the description box below. I always put timestamps so you can skip ahead at any point. So these are products that I am either decluttering from my makeup collection or I finished up. So all of them will be leaving my makeup collection completely. So the first product is from Pure Cosmetics. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I wanted to like it. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to like it so much is because everybody was telling me to like it, that it will work for me. But honestly, it's just not my personal favorite formula. I'm going to pass it along to somebody else because it is barely used. And I just have other bronzers, highlighters, and blushes in my collection that I reach for more than this one. I won't say it's a bad quality product. It's just more of a cream formula and I prefer like a completely powder formula. So I figured somebody else might enjoy it more than I do. The next product is from BECCA Cosmetics. It's actually a product that I changed my mind about. I enjoyed it for a little while, but I find that no matter what moisturizer I use with this product, it always balls up on my skin, so it just hasn't been my favorite. I feel like I have other mattifying primers that I like better, and even though I enjoy the primer, it's just like a little bit of a difficult product to use, so I'm decluttering this as well. This is an eyeliner from Ciate, and I wanted to like this again, but I feel like the tip of the eyeliner is a little bit too thick for me. I prefer more of like a slim or pointed liner to get a really precise application, so I just kind of felt like whenever I used this, my winged liner was like way too thick and bold, and I just really didn't like it very much. Moving on to some mascaras that I finished up. I did finish up the IT Cosmetics Superhero, which is one of my favorites, if not my all-time favorite mascara. It makes your lashes really thick and voluminous. And then I also finished up this mascara from Essence, which I did enjoy. I won't be repurchasing it though because I do find that it kind of transfers onto my eyelids. So even though I like the mascara and the brush, I am going to skip this one and I have other mascaras that I enjoy more. I also finished up the Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara, which is really great at making your lashes super long and it separates them really well. So I think eventually I'll repurchase this one just not for a little while because I do have a bunch of other ones that I'm currently testing out or that I need to test out. I decided to declutter this Urban Decay lipstick. I didn't actually wear it, to be honest with you guys, but I recently filmed my lipstick declutter, which will be up very soon, and I just don't think I'll wear this color, so I'd rather give it to somebody else who would enjoy it more than I do. And then I'm decluttering this E.L.F setting powder. It was actually part of my project pan, but I'm going to have to replace it with something else. I just don't enjoy using it any longer, and I don't really force myself to use products that I really don't enjoy at all. I have so much makeup that I feel like I'd rather just pass it along and start using something else. So I'm going to get rid of this because I just don't actually enjoy the product anymore. And then I did finish up my Anastasia brow powder. This lasted me forever and I love this. I did repurchase it, so I am working on a new one in my collection right now. Okay, and then moving on to products that I'm taking out of my drawer, but I'm still keeping them. So they're just going back into my makeup collection to use at a later time. The first thing is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I do enjoy this, but I started using one from Makeup Revolution and then I'm trying to use up a few other ones, so I haven't been reaching for this very often, so I'm just going to put it back into my drawer for now. And then I have some Physicians Formula blushes, which I love so much, but I had to consciously remove some of my favorite blushes from the drawer so I could focus on trying out some other ones. I did a blush declutter recently and there were a couple that I was kind of on the fence about, so I'm focusing on using them this month to see if I actually enjoy them, and if not, I'll declutter them in April. So same thing with the Too Faced Pop It On Peach blush, one of my favorites, but I have to try out some other ones. And then I have a couple of Tarte blushes, which I love. I'll use again at a later time, but I just want to put my focus somewhere else. Kind of the same thing with these Wet n Wild highlighters. I love them. They're beautiful, but I have so many highlighters in my drawer right now, so some of them just kind of had to take a back seat. Okay, so moving on to my drawer for March. I don't have too many blushes in there right now. I did keep my Hourglass blushes in the drawer because they are my go-tos. They're my favorite. They're so lightweight and natural looking on the skin, so I feel like they're perfect for all year round, but I think I'll really enjoy them during the spring and the summertime. And then I did add in the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. These were kind of blushes that I was on the fence about when I was doing my declutter. I remember really enjoying them at one point, but it's been a long time since I've really consistently used them, and the colors are kind of similar to some of the blushes that I removed from my drawers. So I'm really going to focus on using them during the month of March to see if I enjoy them or if I need to declutter them from my collection. I am adding in 2 ColourPop powder duos. So the first one is the Done Deal Pressed Powder Palette, which comes with a blush and a highlight. These colors are really beautiful. I feel like they'll be so much fun for springtime. And then the second one is the Double Play Palette, which also comes with like a blush, bronzer, and then also a highlight. So I just wanted to get a little bit more use out of them because they've been sitting in my collection for a little while. I am trying out the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne highlighting palette. I feel like some of the shades might be a little dark for me, but I wanted to actually try it out before I decided whether or not to keep it or declutter it. And then moving on to highlighters. I have a highlight obsession lately, so of course I have my favorite BECCA Cosmetics highlighters. They are always in my drawer. I just cannot get enough of them. They're so creamy and beautiful. So I have the regular ones. And then I also have the Light Chaser highlighters. I have a couple of these, and these are actually my current favorites. I just think they are so beautiful on the cheeks, and I like them a little bit better than the regular BECCA Cosmetics highlighters. I think they might still be available. They were like on clearance, but if you can get your hands on them, you will not regret it. They are so beautiful. Moving on, I have a couple of Pop Beauty highlighters, which have also been some of my favorites. I think this is maybe the 3rd month that I've been wearing them, 2nd or 3rd, but I really love them. They're so beautiful on the face. They're very glowy. Like they look almost a little bit more natural, but you can build them up if that's something that you want to do. And I just love the formula. I have this highlighter from Fenty Beauty in the shade Hustla Baby, which is a really pretty gold. I got this as part of like a little mini set, and I do enjoy this color. I think it's really pretty. And then I have my ColourPop highlighter in the shade Might Be, which I use mostly as an eyeshadow, but occasionally as a highlighter as well. I have one contour product this month. It's my Catrice Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette because it is the contour kit that I'm trying to use up this year, so it's really the only one that I've been using. And then a couple of highlighters that I'm adding in. This one is from Laura Geller. It's one of my favorite highlighters ever, but I feel like it kind of got neglected during the winter time, so I'm breaking it back out, as well as the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the shade Gilded Honey, and then also like the pink shade. These are really nice, but it's been a long time since I've worn them, so I really wanted to try them out again this month and see if I enjoy them. If not, I need to declutter them because I've had them for quite a while in my collection. I feel like the lighting is a little bit bright in this video, so I apologize. It's hard to tell when I'm filming until I go back and edit. So I have a couple of Catrice highlighters, which I do enjoy. These are more subtle highlighters, but they're so pretty on the skin, so I wanted to use them a little bit this month as well. I do enjoy them though. I think they're really pretty and super affordable. And then I've been using my BECCA Cosmetics bronzer. I actually broke my Physicians Formula bronzer and I couldn't put it back together because I lost the majority of the product. So this is my main bronzer right now. I'm trying to finish it up this year, and I replaced the Physicians Formula bronzer in my project pan with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So this is the first month that it's going back in my drawer. This one is the Milk Chocolate bronzer, which is their lighter one. So I wanted to use this one up because I've had it for a while and I feel like I'm close to hitting pan on it. So you'll see that bronzer over the next few months in my drawer. Moving on to eye products. So I have a couple of mascaras. Right now I have the Essence Lash Princess, which is like my go-to everyday mascara. And then I added in the Tarte Lash Paint. And you guys, I've used this for a couple weeks at this point because I kind of added it in the middle of last month and it's so good. It's my absolute favorite mascara of the moment. It makes your lashes so long. I have a picture on my Instagram. I'll insert it in this video. That's like no false lashes. And for me, that's crazy. The wand is just so good and I love the formula. I'm finally trying out the SMASHBOX Photo Finish Lash Primer, which I have had for a while, but I haven't actually used it. And a lot of you guys love this product. So I'm excited to finally try it out and see if it makes a difference or not. And then I have the Pixie Lower Lash Mascara, which I think I added in last month, but it's a really great option if you need something to really grab onto your lower lashes and define them and make them look a little bit more dramatic. So I don't have too many open mascara, so I'm going to try to keep it to like 3 at the most because I'm really following the 3-month rule. As for eye primers, I have the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and then I also have the E.L.F. Cosmetics Matte to Metal Primer, which I really love for like shimmery eye look days. For my brows, I have the Catrice, oh no, I always get those two mixed up, the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara, and then after I use that, I always go in with my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Dark Brown, and this one is pretty much brand new. I think I might have added it in like the middle of the month, but this lasts forever. It's just my personal favorite brow powder. I think I added a couple of these in last month, but I didn't get a chance to use them. They are from SMASHBOX, and they are the Photo Edit Eyeshadow Trios. They sent me a bunch of them, but I only kept a couple because I didn't think I needed all of them. I just want to try them out to see if they're actually worth the money. SMASHBOX eyeshadows are kind of hit and miss for me, so I'm looking forward to giving them a shot, but they also just came out with these new ones that have like one matte shadow and two glitter shadows, and I love like glitter shadows lately, so I wanted to give these a shot, especially the next one because I love pinks, and it comes with one matte pink and then two glittery pinks. So I'm really looking forward to trying them out to see if they're really good or if they're just kind of subpar, so I'll keep you guys posted. Speaking of glitter, I'm trying out some of the Urban Decay Heavy Metals, what are these, liquid liners, and I tried one day and I wasn't 100% convinced on it. I felt like it wasn't opaque enough to use on its own. I didn't love how it looked over liners, so I need to continue to try them out and see if I can get them to work for me before I decide whether or not to keep them or pass them along. I have this eyeshadow that I got in an Ipsy bag. I don't know if I've even used this yet. This is the last month I'm going to keep it in my drawer. If I don't use it, I'll declutter it. And then I have the ColourPop eyeshadow in Dance Party, which is like my favorite purple. I wore it in a recent video and I just love it so much, so I'm keeping it in my drawer this month as well. So moving on to eyeshadow palettes, I have the NYX Ultimate Multi-Finish palettes, which I just talked about in my February favorites. They are some of my favorite palettes. They're just so easy to use and I can't get enough of them. And then I do have my ColourPop Pressed Powder Shadow palette, which looks like a mess. I drop it all the time and I just use it all the time, so it's not the neatest. And then I have the Tarte Cosmetics Clay Play palette and the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, which is a great option if you love metallic shadows. I've been trying out the Juvia's Place shadows off and on. I don't know. I feel like I still have to give them like a fair shot. They don't, like I don't gravitate toward these palettes super often, so I really need to make an effort to use them this month. And then I have the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette, which comes with some really fun, bright, bold, metallic shadows. And this one is one of the best metallic shadow palettes that I've ever tried, so I totally recommend it. The Urban Decay Kristen Leanne Daydream palette is expensive for what it is, but honestly, I do use it really often. I feel like it's just an easy to use palette. I'm trying out the Too Faced Life's a Festival palette this month. I'm going to do another video comparing the best and worst new eyeshadow palettes, and this one will be in that video. So I haven't worn it yet, but we'll see how it actually is. I'm also trying out this BECCA Cosmetics palette, which I have tried a few times, but I'll save my thoughts for that upcoming eyeshadow palette review video. The colors are really pretty, and honestly, BECCA Cosmetics is becoming one of my favorite brands. I also have this palette, which was part of like their winter or holiday collection, and I've been using it a lot lately, so I'm keeping both of those in my drawer as well. And that's it for eyeshadows or eyeshadow palettes. I have quite a few to last me the entire month, so I'll share some updates at the end of the month. So moving on to face products, these are the powders that I currently have in my drawer. I'll be finished with the IT Cosmetics one by the end of March, and then same with the NYX Cosmetics powder as well. I know some people are like, you should just toss that, you're pretty much done with it, but it's a Project Pan video, so I'm really trying to finish up like the entire thing. And then I have my Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation, which I love. This is like, I finished one up in February, and then like I already hit pan on this one. I go through this powder way too quickly for what it is. It's so expensive, but honestly, it's the best. I will finish this one by the end of the month as well. So hopefully at the beginning of my next video, I'll have 3 empty powders to share with you guys. I'm testing out the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder, which is like a translucent powder. I haven't used this one yet this month, but I'll keep you guys posted and let you know if it's a good alternative to the IT Cosmetics powder. I have actually been using the Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder, which I have tried in the past, and I think so far it's the best alternative to the IT Cosmetics powder that I've tried so far. I do really enjoy it for everyday wear. So I won't be repurchasing the IT Cosmetics powder for now, as long as I have these two and I'm trying them out. Moving on to concealers, I have my E.L.F. concealer palette, which I just used to carve out my brows. I'm working on the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I think I should be done with it by the end of March as well. And then the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer is probably like mostly gone too. I tried out the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, and I do really enjoy it. I have 2 shades. I mix like Fair Warm and Light Warm. And then moving on to primers, I'm still testing this one out. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this one. It's just kind of okay to me so far, but I love the Hourglass primer, and then I also love the BECCA primer. These are two of my favorites, but my absolute favorite primer has to be the Smashbox Primerizer. At least during like the fall and the winter, it's my go-to. I decided to try out the CATRICE primer again this month. I have tried it in the past and I've enjoyed it, but I'm getting ready to film a primer declutter, so I wanted to try it and see if it's worth keeping or decluttering. And then I'm also trying out the Pixie Rose Flash Balm, which is interesting. It says you can use it as like a skin treatment, but also as a primer, so I'm kind of testing that out, and I'll give you guys my thoughts by the end of the month. And then I do have the Smashbox Primer Water, which I'm trying to finish up, and then I'm going to be trying out the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1. It's like a setting priming spray. I didn't love the primer when I tried it, so I'm kind of curious to see if I'll enjoy this, or, you know, if it'll fall into the same category as the primer, which was okay. It just wasn't my favorite because I have oily skin and I found it to be like a little bit too hydrating. So as for foundations, I'm not switching it up too much. I have my Urban Decay All Nighter, and then I also have the Smashbox Studio Skin Shaping Foundation and my Hourglass Stick Foundations, which I'm trying to finish up. I should be done with one of those by the end of the month as well. I have the CATRICE HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, and then I'm adding in the E.L.F Flawless Finish Foundation this month, which again, I have tried, but I'm getting ready to do like a foundation declutter, so I'm just trying to use some older ones to see whether or not I want to keep them or get rid of them. Okay, finishing up with lip products. So I didn't switch it up at all this month because honestly, I really need to use the rest of these products for like a whole another month because I didn't really get a chance to use a lot of them. So on the left, I have my Buxom lip glosses. The top right is the Fenty Beauty Gloss, then a Bite Beauty Gloss, and then two ColourPop lip glosses. So I wanted to give them more time before I decided how I felt about a lot of them. And then on the bottom, I have like ColourPop liquid lipsticks, one from Tarte, Stila, and Bite Beauty. So I'm giving myself another month to use all of these products before I decide whether or not to keep them or declutter them. I haven't been good about switching up my lip products lately, so I need to be better about that during the month of March. But otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like this video was a little bit rushed, but I didn't switch up my products too much and I didn't want to be too redundant. So thanks for watching. I hope these videos aren't boring, but a lot of you guys say that you really enjoy them, so I keep filming them for you. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.